We have some drama today with Charles Hoskinson going directly after Brad Garlinghouse. And I think this is worth covering, not just for the entertainment value, but it really highlights what's going on in crypto and what the argument is. So we're going to delve into it. But there's a couple things here. I think he's not framing it in a fair manner because it's not Brad and Ripple are over here. It's Brad, Ripple, Kraken, Circle. Like the whole industry is on one side of the coin here. And then you have Coinbase that's pushing and advocating for their own interests and saying, we're going to walk away from this thing because no bill is better than, compromising and getting what we need, what we absolutely need for our security as an industry long term. This isn't Brad Garlinghouse out on an island. It's quite the opposite. And further, Charles is a little bit sour because let's be honest, he's on the outside looking in here. He didn't pay the price that Brad did personally when he was sued, or Ripple did, where they paid hundreds of millions of dollars just to survive, just to get to this point and have the right to advocate for this. And further, they didn't pay the lobby. He didn't pay the lobbying money that Ripple and Coinbase and many other people did to push this bill forward. What he thought is, I'll just make myself present in Washington, D.C., and I'll discuss with people, and no one could put up with his personality, and he got ejected out of Washington real quick, and now, well, no one's listening to what he has to say, and he's venting to the world. Let's listen to this, what he had to say. I'm going to cut it off short because he uses some language we don't use on this channel, but here we go.
And you still got people like Brad saying, well, it's not perfect, but we just got to get something. It's better than no clarity. Hand it to the same people who sued us. Hand it to the same people who put us out of business, who subpoenaed us, who put us in jail.
Okay, first of all, who sued us? Cardano wasn't sued. If Cardano was sued the same way Ripple did, he wouldn't be around any longer. He wouldn't have fought that fight, and I'm sure he wouldn't put his personal assets up on the line to do so. Let's be honest, this guy skated around a lot of the problems. Yeah, they were named as ancillary people in some of these lawsuits, but they were never sued directly because they weren't quite relevant enough to really matter, to actually sue. And so he got a free pass in a lot of ways here. There is no suing us. This guy, again, didn't have to deal with the same stuff Ripple did. Further, he's making this sound like this is just Brad's opinion personally or Ripple's stance here. This is the industry stance that this bill needs to get done. So we never return to Gary Gensler 2.0, where the whole industry is under assault. Remember this thing here. Crypto allows you to be your own bank. It doesn't allow you to act as an unlicensed bank for others. And so this is the difference. When you have a stablecoin issuer like Ripple, like Circle and others, PayPal, you're taking funds and you're putting them in treasuries. There's no risk there. But when you're an exchange and you're taking on customer money, you're not getting that treasury interest, right? How are you earning yield? Well, you're going to do something with that money. You're going to invest it on behalf of your customers. You are acting as a bank without the licensure, without the insurance. Yeah, that ain't going to fly, buddy. That ain't a thing. And plus in this video, he really pushed it farther than what this bill really does. Made it sound much worse than it really is. Who knows? Maybe Coinbase is pulling some strings, trying to get him out here to rally the troops. This is a bunch of nonsense. We need to get clarity. We need to make sure that crypto, not all this other stuff, that crypto is protected, that your coins are not seen as illegal or securities. What matters is the tokens themselves. Maybe this guy's moved on from the ADA token, but that's what we need to protect above all else. XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, the ADA token. That's crypto, not Coinbase's business interests. This guy is absolutely full of it. Now, I did this report here. A lot of people, the price at the time I did this report, well, the price is $206. We know right now at the time of this recording, we're under $2, but it really pushes the point even more. The institutional divergence here. This is the Ripple and XRP market update. Again, we're seeing this downturn year over year, and we're very early in the year, aren't we? But it's down quite a bit, right? The paradox. Why is smart money buying while the market is selling? That's what's going on right now. The price is going down, but your money, they know what's coming. They know where value is, and they are accumulating. We see the surface level here is The price going down year over year, 37% down. That's a big drop, isn't it? But institutions, they are deploying capital, they are acquiring XRP, $1.37 billion in counting worth. And this is an anomaly. You don't normally see this, but that's what's happening right now. And it's striking because look at Bitcoin right now in this current market condition, a billion in outflows with Bitcoin. Ethereum, $564 million in outflows. XRP, $483 million in inflows. That's a difference. That tells you where we're going to go. Velocity, the second fastest crypto ETF to surpass 1 billion assets under management. They know what's coming. The smart money's, building out their position methodically, and it's going to happen. Fundamentals will eventually take over here. We will have another crypto bull run. You best believe that here. XRP exchange reserves, they are pulling XRP off of the available for trade, off of the market where you can buy it. And it's having an effect here. We see every $1 billion in ETF takes just a little under about 75% of 1%. So a little under 1% of the total supply is absorbed here. And that's going to have an effect when you look out 12, 24, 36 months from now. This is going to be big, people. It makes a huge, huge difference. Beyond that, we're seeing just sweeping regulatory moat for what Ripple's trying to do in Europe. It's huge. You see everything here. That is no joke here. What's going on with their partnerships with LMAX? RLUSD is this collateral bridge. We want that stable coin to really explode in terms of market cap and daily volume, and all of that value is going to come directly on the XRP ledger. It's going to be a game changer. The vertical integration here is so massive. What Ripple has done in a very short amount of time here, their business here is payment rails. They acquired Rail, huge acquisition. G Treasury, this corporate treasury, Liquidity Prime, of course, Hidden Rail. We understand that. That was a big purchase, $1.25 billion, and it's paying big dividends. And then we have Ripple Custody and XRP Ledger itself. Custody, the ledger together. This vertical stack is unmatched within cryptocurrencies here. All sorts of stuff going on here. Standard Charter, they're forecasting within the next few years, $12.50. Now, will that happen or not? Is their forecast better than yours or mine? Well, we will see. But Standard Charter is no joker, and they believe that we're going to see big growth in this asset over time. It's going to happen. When you look at the squiggly lines, I don't look at that stuff a lot, but there's bullish signs, bearish signs. We got to break through some resistance, but we know this. I don't care when. Specifically, I'm not Nostradamus. I can't tell you exactly, but there will be a crypto bull run. Altcoins will show growth over time, especially as we start getting regulations in order, and you're going to see growth here in this asset class. And when it happens, it's going to be big here. Volume problem right now. Transaction volume is downtrending year over year despite infrastructure growth. The implication is usage lacking behind the build out. Well, usage is going to catch up. So they got to build the system out. We saw from that vertical stack that's happening. A lot of people worried about, again, centralization risk. Ripple controls too much of the supply. That's a real risk, but they've shown to be good stewards of that supply over the long term. They're not dumping it on the market. They're quite smart in how they deploy their capital. And I think they're going to cut off the spigot eventually, and they're going to hold on to XRP because of, ultimately, that's going to define their value long term. Lastly, stablecoin cannibalization. People are worried that, you're going to use RLUSD instead of XRP for settlement. And the implication, XRP left as a bridge asset in that term only. Like being the bridge asset to global payments and RWAs and all this other stuff, that's a lot bigger actually than just payments. That is as big as you get. There isn't any only. That is massive. And that's really the point, how things were designed from day one. Last time we look at this, everyone's looking at the price. I think when I hit record on this video, we're at about $1.97. That's the kind of small part everyone's looking at. But it's under the surface, what's really happening here. ETF inflows, global licenses, infrastructure, as they are doing these massive acquisitions. And then what I think we're going to see here is the independent developers coming online and DApps going live. And it all comes together as this symbiotic, global liquidity. That's what really matters. And that brings me to the Zhao DAO. I did a write-up as an X article the other day. It'll be linked down below. It kind of covers everything. Check that out. I encourage you to read that because I think it shows you, one, why you should join early, why it's worth your $10 today to become a member for life. But further, what does this do for the whole ecosystem? Why does it matter? Because it matters a heck of a lot. Link down below for that article. Please read through it. So far, 21,000 people have checked that out. And further, links to join. Go ahead and join the Zhao. You can use your Bifrost and your Saman wallet. Go ahead and sign up. Self-custody. Your XRP you hold in self-custody, you control. That defines your voting power and also your profit share as the Zhao makes strategic investments. Be part of the future of this blockchain and make it the most decentralized blockchain from top to bottom in the world. A model for the future. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.